Okay. Hi, I'm Deb Schaefer. I'm one of the many realtors in Bowling Green, Ohio. I work for the Danbury Company on South Main Street. And today, Amy and George Strata have been kind enough to agree to talk to us about their experience over the last few months. Please start by just telling us, well, your experiences. You own two restaurants and you both work. I just tell me about you, okay?
Okay, we own Beckett's Burger Bar here in town, and we also own Called the Canyon. And we are also both full-time employed. So this past year, I've worked as a full-time instructor at Bowling Green State University. So on top of being affected through the everything that was happening through the restaurants, I also had to switch and go completely online.
Wow.
Through
Was
the
that a big
university.
adjustment for you?
Yes, it was huge. I've taught for 23 years at Bowling Green Middle School, and I'll be returning there in the fall. So I'm very used to and accustomed to being in the classroom with students, which is my passion. That's what I love to do. So being online in front of a computer is definitely something that I do not enjoy in any way, shape, or form. So that was very difficult
Sure.
to do that. But we managed and we figured out our way, and the kids were resilient and we got it done. So that was good. So that's what I do.
George, were you very affected in your work?
I was because I do full-time food service sales, so I have relationships with many restaurant owners throughout Northwest Ohio, and owning restaurants myself, it was a tough time for a lot of people. So my day-to-day schedule changed a little bit, but the collaboration of working with other people and trying to figure out what the best move forward was, and trying to help other people with the best move forward too. It was difficult. It definitely felt like I worked a lot harder over the last few months, and
Right.
there was
Trying to
less.
figure it out and then do it.
Figure it out. It was just not normal. So.
And how did tell us about Beckett's during the shutdown? The restaurants were expected to close the doors. For
Yeah. Well, it hit us like a ton of bricks at first, and then slowly we started to see that that the state wasn't totally against restaurants being open, and so we were trying to figure out how to safely operate during that period, and it was overwhelming at times, but we were overwhelmed with just a tremendous amount of support from the city of Bowling Green and our customers, and different people wanting to do things for us, knowing that we're business owners and we're struggling a little bit during this time, and the kindness and the generosity of the community and the other businesses, and it was overwhelming there for a while. So it was very happy to see a lot of positive. I think we got a lot of new customers. There was a lot of positive things being written on through Facebook and social media and all of that. And
yeah.
it was a I would never want to do this again, but it was a great experience as far as, I'm not looking back at it like in negative ways. We're trying to take all the positives we can out of it.
So you continued to be open pretty much all week, right? And sell carryout.
We did. We just adjusted our hours and we went strictly to carry out and delivery. We were fortunate from the standpoint that we already had that option available, so it wasn't something that we had to implement. So we were fortunate in some ways compared to maybe some other restaurants who had never offered that option before. We at least had that in place. So that was something that was available, and we already had delivery drivers, and we already had delivery systems.
Good.
And call-in systems, things like that. So what was different and so hard to accommodate sometimes was the volume of it, because it's just different to try to do that when you're only running delivery and takeout versus working with people in the restaurant. So that was different.
You had pretty good volume then? You had good volume?
I think we did okay. I mean, it wasn't necessarily. I mean, we lost our 3 busiest months of the year, March, April, and May, and I mean, we didn't do what we would normally do in March, April, and
Sure.
May, but we had enough volume to keep the bills paid and keep most of our staff working. The parts of the staff that we really unfortunately had to turn, that wasn't
To
able to
lay
work,
off.
we weren't able to use as much as our servers and bartenders and that type of staff. So most of them are back to work now that we're opened, and we have dine in, but a good portion of our kitchen staff was there. A good portion of our management staff stayed with us through it
That's
all.
good.
And
That's really
so,
good.
so we're fortunate as far as that goes.
Mhm.
Again, not I compare the numbers, if we're looking at numbers, more about what we do in summertime, which isn't terrible, but it's just not, you just can't make up your busiest months of the year. But
Was that a combination of the rules to close plus college kids not being around?
well, that and our bar business is part of that business as well.
Sure.
So we're just dealing with less people in town. So I mean,
Right.
with all college kids being gone, and when you lose basketball and hockey and all those events that make
Right.
people want to go out to eat together, we lost all those events. So that's
Graduation.
we lost graduation, we
graduation.
lost St. Patrick's Day, we lost Mother's Day. So I mean, all those big events that get people to come into a restaurant, we didn't do quite as well with that. So
Sure. Tell us about when did you open your doors for eat-in dining? You've done that, right? Or
correct. Yeah, we opened on the first day that for Beckett's, we opened the first Thursday that they allowed us to.
The 21st, I think it was.
21st,
The 21st.
So, and we're seeing dine-in business slowly come back, and then our delivery business is still. So you could tell that there's some people that are still nerved about going out, but they're still using. Where our delivery service hasn't slowed down that much.
Oh, okay.
So we're starting to see delivery go down a little bit, but whatever that's down, we're up because of the dining room being back open. So.
So if someone comes in, how do you have it set up now inside Beckett's?
So we took the pool table out, which created more floor space for us, and then we spaced out our tables and created that distance. Instead of having to take off tables or not use certain tables, we just were able to remove the ones that we couldn't have in there, and then we spaced them out. And then we put some against the wall and made some 6 tops into 4 tops, just so that we could put them against the wall and move them against the wall. And then we also have 2 big tables up front in the window, and then we made that so that if there's one group up there, there can't be another group up
Sure.
there. And then we also changed it. We're usually just everybody can kind of come in and seat themselves and find wherever they want to sit, and that has changed. Everyone has to be seated by one of us, and you also have to be seated at the bar seats now by one of us. And groups can still come in, families can still come in together and things like that.
Reservations.
Did you always take reservations?
We do, but it's not like a norm that we take, just because we don't have the capacity really for it. So, if someone calls ahead of time and they let us know that they're coming, we try to accommodate that, but it's not really like a typical thing that we do. But now, if we know a group is coming and they, have 7 people that they want to bring with them, that's, a group that's coming in, then we can accommodate that if they call us ahead of time, and we can make sure we have that seating for them. And we also, that seating capacity has been reduced, because that's another guideline that we had to do. We had to reduce the seating capacity. So that's been reduced as well.
Right. Now is Call of the Canyon open now for eat-in?
Yes, so we opened that the Tuesday after Memorial Day, and we actually just extended our hours this week to open later into the evening. We're open till 7:30 Monday through Friday now.
Right.
Saturdays only lunch, and then we're closed on Sundays. Again, with that, we had to reduce the seating, but then we put a couple tables outside so people could dine outside on the street if they're able to. And Call the Canyon is definitely a little bit slower of a restaurant than Beckett's is, as far as it's just more more casual, more you know,
Great pies.
yes.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
so it's a little bit different, but yeah, we're just slowly starting to get back into it, and you know, hopefully that we see some bounce now that the weather's getting nice and people
Oh.
want salads and fresh
Could
sandwiches.
help, right?
Yes,
Nice
yeah,
weather. Yeah, we hope.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything particular you would have left to comment on or say that?
I just think it's really important to, you know, for us personally, I just think it's really important to thank the Bowling Green community. I think, you know, every time they have been asked to step up and support downtown businesses, they have. You know, there was so much done with construction the previous 2 years and 2 summers, and then we got hit with this year. And, you know, if you read about and if you look at social media and you look at downtown businesses and what they're talking about, I really think that whenever the community is asked to step up and support those downtown businesses, they really do. They really step in, and you know, there were people that created restaurant pages on social media, and then you could post your specials, and it just seemed like for the most part the community just really kind of jumped on board. And when you think about how much this affected everyone with jobs and loss of jobs and incomes and parents being, you know, I think about it as a teacher and parents being home with their children and people being out of work and just the impact that this last several months has had on so many people. It's everyone. It's had an impact on everyone. But yet our community still steps in, and I think that is just what the charm of Bowling Green. I just think that you know, that's just something that makes our community so unique, is that when it's needed, everyone steps in, and we're all there for one another. And I think that's pretty incredible.
George?
I agree.
Any-
I agree. Just
agree.
thank you, Dee.
Yeah,
So
thank
we
you.
appreciate
Yeah.
it and look forward to your support in the future. And you know, you know, we feel blessed with everything that's happened. So to be
Yeah,
with
well, you are an important part of the, you know, the Bowling Green area and that downtown business and the favorite eateries for people, you know, and so that was a very beautiful thing to share. Thank you, Amy. I really appreciate it.
Thank
And,
you.
I hope you have a really surprisingly busy and productive and successful, you know, next few months, even though it's summer, you know, there's
Yeah.
some good surprises there. So,
Yes, well, we appreciate it. So thanks for taking the time with us.
yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.